Hello everyone, my name is Ipoa and welcome back to the How to Train Your Dragon tier ranking. This is part 6 of this series and probably the second to last part. Most likely there will be one other part after this one, which will be the final. Today we will be continuing our dig through the mystery class and we'll be starting the strike class dragons. Since we do have quite a few dragons left to go over, let's just get started right away. Alright, now we have the Slitherwing. Slitherwing is another legless, limbless dragon. It has wings and it has a very snake-like body. Even the head is incredibly snake-like and also the pattern on the body. This dragon is incredibly poisonous. Similarly to the Thornridge, whose skin creates poisonous toxins, Slitherwings produce poisonous toxins as well. However, Slitherwings are much deadlier than Thornridges, as Thornridges poison can only it induces some muscle cramps and some uncomfortableness. However, Slitherwings can kill you in a matter of a day, and that is why they are much more deadly, and that is why you do not want to come near them. They can fly, they are very agile in the air, they can survive very well both on their own and in packs. They do live in packs most often, and since they are coated in their venom, they are impervious to Death Song's Amber attack, which means that they can't be captured and in the hot amber. As apex predators and very well armored and defended dragons, I'm definitely putting them in the S tier because these dragons are they can take care of themselves without a problem. Now we have the Dromillion. Dromillion is again a mystery class dragon that is known for being able to mimic any sort of fire. They can produce magnesium type fire, lava type fire, plasma blasts, any fire that they see they can mimic. They can also, once they reach the Titan stage, they become much larger and they can completely camouflage with their environments and therefore hide from any potential threats. They are pack dragons, which means that they are mostly reliant on each other to survive. A lone Dromillion is much more vulnerable than a Dromillion surrounded by other members of the species. They are intelligent, they are good hunters, and overall, I'm putting them in A tier. Because even though they are vulnerable on their own, they're not as vulnerable as, for example, Speed Stingers or Sea Shockers or Grimnashers. Next is a Silver Phantom. This is a Stoker class dragon resembling a Typhoomerang and Timberjack in appearance. It only has two small hind legs, it has very large wings, a thin neck, and a long thin tail. This dragon has a head that mostly resembles a Timberjack in my opinion. It has two long curvy horns and a bit of a longer head, not as Typhoomerang in appearance as I would say, but besides the head, it resembles a Typhoomerang the most. It's a bit more graceful, the proportions are a bit nicer, and also the body. The Typhoomerang has a very large belly and a very chunky body at places, while the Silver Phantom is it's very snake-like in body. The body mostly resembles a Timberjack in my opinion. Overall, this dragon doesn't really have any weaknesses besides, again, the large wings and not being as graceful as it can be on ground as some other dragons. However, again, because the wings are not as huge as Timberjack's and because it does have legs, this dragon is pretty well designed. It mostly soars high in the skies, hunting for prey, and rarely comes down to earth, usually only to sleep or the rest. It's a really eagle type dragon, you could say. I would definitely put this in the S tier as well, similar to the Typhoomerang, as it doesn't really have too many natural enemies, as it's one of the largest dragons, at least in wingspan talking, and yeah, this is just really evolutionary, well adapted dragon. Next is the Hobgobbler. This is a small mystery class dragon that we first see in the hidden world, and they seem to be able to duplicate or at least replicate at very, very quick speeds. They resemble toads, and even their eyes, they have that classic toad pupil shape. They aren't exactly big, they are fit into one's... You can hold them with your hands, they are smaller than terrible terrors even. However, that doesn't mean that they are completely... they aren't dangerous. They do swarm together, they do live in packs, and they can attack you and hurt you should they be in large numbers. However, a single hobgoblin is no threat at all, and practically any dragon or any creature could win in a fight against a hobgoblin. That is why this dragon is going into C tier, because only a large number of hobgoblins can defend itself. Even 2, 3, 5 on their own are still pretty easy prey. Alright, moving on to the one and only Night Fury. Of course, the only Night Fury we know is Toothless. However, I will try to be as Night Fury focused rather than Toothless focused as possible. Night Furies are of course strike class dragons that are known to be most dangerous, most precise, and most secretive. Night Fury of course categorizes itself in black skin, incredible speed. They are the fastest dragons, they have incredible accuracy, they are highly intelligent, and are also formidable fighters. Their weaknesses do seem to be dragon root, as they are possibly more sensitive or react differently to it, as we see in Race to the Edge. But a wild Night Fury, I don't think this dragon will have any problem facing up against other creatures. We see Toothless easily won against Hookfang in the first movie. He chased him off and protected Hiccup, showing their protective instincts. And these dragons are simply, without a doubt, Night Furies are S tier. Then we have the Skrill. The Skrill is actually my favorite dragon in the How to Train Your Dragon universe. I love Skrills. Skrills are able to redirect, harness, and not generate, but definitely redirect and harness lightning and use it as a weapon. They are the symbol of the Berserker tribe, and they can hit multiple targets at once if they choose to shoot lightning in multiple directions. They are very lonesome dragons. They live on their own, and they only come out during lightning storms when they do actually have lightning to harness. They are very, very fast, and if they travel within lightning, they can practically teleport, as lightning is incredibly fast. The only weakness this dragon has is water. It can't redirect lightning once it is in the water. That is what hunters use to kind of contain its lightning abilities, but in nature this dragon would definitely stay away from water and would without a doubt be on top of every single food chain. Without a doubt, again, S tier design. Woolly Howl. Woolly Howl is a dragon that we see in Rise of Berk and School of Dragons. Again, in appearance it resembles a Night Fury, especially in the head and eye shape. However, it does have scales which look like fur but actually are sharp scales on the back of the head, the neck, and the back. Also, it gives me a huge wolf-like appearance, those scales. They have larger wings and are generally larger than Night Furies and Sunwraith. At the end of their tail, they do have a flat out, sort of a fin, again, a flat horizontal fin, but they mostly use it for balance in flight. They can shoot, it's not a whirlpool, but it's like a rotating ball of ice with mist. They are known to come out during snowy weather and snowstorms, as that is their preferred weather. And I will say again, these strike class dragons are S tier, top of the food chain. Snowwraith. Snowwraith is a dragon introduced in Race to the Edge. This strike class dragon has a thermal vision, which means that it can see body heat, and that's how it hunts prey, and that is why it is such a danger once you're in thick snowfall and snowstorms, because you can't see, but the snow wraith can see your body temperature and pinpoint your location perfectly, and then it simply picks you off one by one. However, this dragon is not as well equipped as the previous 3 strike class dragons. We see that it does sleep or hibernate together. However, the dragons were very easily captured, they are easily taken out, and despite their speed, they are not as intelligent as, for example, squirrels or night furies. That is why I think this dragon is A tier, because it misses the full potential of a strike class dragon. Next, triple strike. Another strike class dragon introduced in Race to the Edge. This dragon has 3 split tails, and each tail has a different venom in it. It is very wild, very aggressive, dangerous, and very hard to train. However, this dragon in the wild, I believe this would be a completely able to stand on its feet type of dragon that has no problem fending for itself. I will again put it in S tier. Next up we have the Light Fury. Boy, this would be interesting. Light Fury is a subspecies of a Night Fury that is characterized by the exact opposite coloration, white, and the Light Fury that we have seen so far, all of them have blue eyes. Light Furies can blend in with their surroundings similarly to the Changeling. They can hide and mimic the environment to be invisible or virtually invisible so that they can't be detected. Light Furies are similar to Night Furies, incredibly fast. They do shoot purple, I believe it's purple plasma that then explodes into a fireball, which is a great distraction. They shoot the fireball, go through it, turn invisible, and run away. A perfect mechanism for defending and getting away quickly, especially since Light Furies are smaller than Night Furies and not as well equipped for fighting as Night Furies. I would say that, however, despite not perhaps being as great fighters as Night Furies and Triple Strikes, they can still hold their own really well. We do see multiple Light Furies in the Hidden World. We do see that the main Light Fury from the Hidden World, can still hold her own whenever she's in nature, if she's not being controlled by Grimmel. So I will put Light Fury in S tier, because if they aren't chained up by a professional dragon hunter, they can really live on their own in nature and they do not need help or assistance from other dragons. Now we have the Death Grippers. We haven't really seen as much of Death Grippers as I would have liked. We only mostly see them when they are controlled by Grimmel. We don't see them act on their own free will. However, what we do see from them is that they are basically equipped to be undefeatable. They have extendable tusks, which they can suck in and pull out. They have pincers, large wings, tails with a stinger, venom, and are just about practically perfect dragon hunters. These dragons are large enough to contain pretty much any medium and small sized dragons. Against some larger species, they would definitely have some issue, but for them on their own, again, I would say that they are S tier because they don't really have any weaknesses. And again, in nature, they won't be making a mind drag out of their own venom. They will simply be chilling together and hunting for prey. So yeah, S tier because strike class is pretty damn good. Now we have the Rumblehorn. The Rumblehorn is a tracker class dragon, which is characterized by incredible sense of smell. This dragon is very well armored and it has a very massive head, powerful jaws. However, it is not very maneuverable in the air. It can sense things from great distances, as we see Skullcrusher sends the oncoming tidal wave, which basically saved the edge. And in general, I would say that this is between an S tier and an A tier. They don't have too many weaknesses. They're basically flying rhinos, I would say. I think this is either S or A. I'm gonna put it actually into S, because we do see this dragon use its intelligence, and it is very intelligent, and yeah, I'm gonna say S tier for Rumblehorn. And with that, we have come to the end of this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, because it really means a lot, and that's how you can support both me and the channel. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you next time in the final episode of this series. So long.